Today is going to be an absolutely phenomenal session. So if you have anyone that you know should be in this session, that will be able to benefit from this session, send them a message, send them the link, and they should join today's session. Okay. So once again, welcome to tonight's session. It's going to be an incredible masterclass. We are majorly going to be talking about how to get paid. This is going to be from the HR's point of view. What are the typical AI automation tools that are now in vogue? Also looking at the project's portfolio. And even if you're not in HR, you are a participant, you are someone looking to get a job. What are the things that you need to look out for? Okay. So that is what we're going to be talking about in today's conversation. But before we get into all of that, I would like to do a proper introduction of myself, and I would also like to know each and everyone on this call. So like I mentioned earlier, my name is Treasure Akyopo. I lead the team here at Analytics Business. I'm a senior projects manager. I also work in partnerships and also have a lot of mentees under me so far. Okay. And today we're going to be having a very, very interesting conversation. So before we get into that, I would like to know where each and everyone is joining from. So I'm Treasure. I'm based out of Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm currently a project manager. Okay. So I want to have a better understanding of who you are, your career pathway that you're currently on, and then we build from that. Okay. So just indulge me, put in the chat what's your name, your location you're joining us from, and the current job you're doing at the moment. Okay. So I'd like to get to know each and every one of you. We're just starting the conversation. So we have about 13 people on the call. We're expecting a lot more people to join. So please just ensure that, if you have anyone that should be on this call, you are getting through to them. Okay. In the meantime, let's do a piece of introduction before we get right into it. Okay. So I've only gotten Daniel's response. There are a lot more people on the call. So I would like to get response from each and every one before we move forward in today's conversation. So I'd like to know your name, where you're joining us from, and also basically what profession you're doing. Okay. So today we're going to be talking quite a lot about, especially on the monetary aspect. But if you want to get access to the slides, access to us having conversations with you in terms of how you can build your career. And if you're looking at getting foreign opportunities, what are the things you need to look out for? Okay. Please fill out the attendance form that my colleague is dropping. Tolulokpe has dropped the attendance form in the chat. It's very, very important that you fill out your details so that we can have that information to send you those resources. And if you do need to have like a one-on-one conversation, we can actually reach out to you based off that. Okay. So I'm still only getting message from Daniel. Okay. We are still a lot more on the call. So Daniel said he's from Lagos and he's self-employed and he's looking to get into AI automation engineering. Fantastic, Daniel. Really, really nice to have you on today's call. I need a lot more responses, guys. I need to know that you are still here with me. Okay. So if you are here with me, just give me a thumbs up so I know that you're seeing your screen, you can hear me loud and clear, and you're good to go. Okay. So I'm still getting a feedback from Daniel. Any other person, we're a lot more on the call. So let's get more people. It's going to be a very, very interactive session. Even when I'm going to talking quite a lot. I also want to get feedback from you because it's based off your feedback. I'll be able to give recommendations and guidance. Okay. So only Daniel has given me a thumbs up so far. Is everybody sleeping? Are you still at your parties or you're still home and you're not here in the session this evening? If you're here, give me a thumbs up so I know that you can hear me loud and clear. If you're currently on the call, okay, so Malik Martin has given me a thumbs up. I guess that's Lizzie. Lizzie from Ogun State. Adekunle is here. Okay, so who else is here? Are the rest of us sleeping? If you're sleeping, you could just drop off the call and go to bed. Okay, Paul is here. Paul is here. Just 4 people? Do I just have 4 people on the call? If you're here, just give me a thumbs up so I know that you can hear me loud and clear. If you're still on the conversation, okay, Abraham can hear me. Okay, all right. So in terms of the activity, please put in your name in the chat, your current location, as well as the job that you're currently in, okay? Whether you're a photographer, whether you are a tailor, whatever you do, just let me know. This would inform the type of, the way the teaching is going to go. Meanwhile, I'm just going to go ahead to share my screen so that we can get started, okay? But I'm still going to be waiting for, basically what you do, where you're from, and also your location. Okay, so please just put it in the chat. It is very, very important because I like to have as much of a practical session as possible. Your name, your location, and basically what you currently do. Okay, so without wasting a lot more time, let's just get right into it. We are 5 minutes into the schedule. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, today's conversation is going to be the future of HR is AI, how to stay relevant as a HR professional, as a job seeker, as someone looking to transition, and also how to get highly paid. Okay, so this is going to be a practical, hands-on session on how to stay valuable and make loads of money, especially in terms of how AI is transitioning the future of HR. Okay, so now before we even get into it, when it comes to applying for job opportunities, you can see now that there are different methods being deployed on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so typically you just get a direct email or a message from a HR or a recruiter saying, "Oh, you know what? You've been set up for an interview. Come plead your case, come market yourself," as the case may be. Okay, but then it is not always so now in the modern days. Okay, we have individuals that get put into AI interview calls. There are people who send out their CVs and it goes through the ATS system. Okay, there are these different issues that people don't understand that implement or affects their chances of actually getting jobs. Okay, and then on the HR end, people don't struggle as much to say, "Oh, I want to screen 10,000 CVs. Put out one application." You can see over 5,000 applications. And looking at 5,000 CVs doesn't seem realistic. Now there are AI automated ways to actually screen different types of CVs and basically get your desired individual that is going to join your organization at the end of the day. Okay, so these are what we're going to focus on. I'm going to also show you a sneak peek of basically jobs I've applied for in the past couple of days, the type of responses I've gotten, the callbacks, especially foreign roles, because that is what I target. The African country, our currency is not the best, but looking at getting foreign roles, getting foreign currency, foreign paying roles is a very good decision right now in this stage of the country. Okay, so please ensure that you are filling the attendance form. It is very, very important. I want this conversation to meet you as an individual. It has to be specialized and specific to you. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. So in today's session, we are going to be looking at different key aspects. Okay, so please ensure you have a pen and paper, a jotter, your phone, something to take notes. It is very important because I'm going to be explaining what are the key things that HR professionals look at as a HR. How can you screen CV? How can you automate your processes? These are the key functions that we'll talk about today. Okay, so first off, we like to talk about understanding how AI is changing the future of HR roles and different opportunities. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I'm in the project management space, and even in the project management space, I'm still making use of AI. This is not something that I did 3, 4, 5 years ago, but based off the way we are having a lot of future trends, a lot of new processes, AI is very important to be able to ensure that, what are the things that I would typically spend 2 days, 1 week to get done? What if I could do it in less than 5 minutes? This is time, taken back, and then I'm able to actually use it for other activities. Whether I want to get into, more 4 or 5 different types of projects, I can actually go ahead to do that. Okay. Then the next one you have is identifying the AI skills HR professionals need to stay relevant and highly paid. We're also going to be using AI tools to be able to improve productivity, hiring, people management, and decision making. And then, how can you, as an individual, a HR professional, be able to land high-paying opportunities across the globe? I'm not saying Nigeria, I'm not saying Africa. I'm saying if you're targeting roles in the US, UK, you are the type of person that's saying, I want to get a remote job. But then you're saying, I'm 50 plus years, I'm 60 plus years. Is this now I want to start? Or you're saying, I'm a beginner, I've never done anything AI tech oriented. Is it now I want to get into it? Or you're someone that's saying, I'm transitioning out of the engineering role, the healthcare space. I'm looking for a retirement space to get into. this is a very good place to put in your foundation and put in your roots. And I'm going to show you how, even as an individual with 20 years plus of experience coming into AI, you are not going to be kicking off as an entry-level individual. You're basically going to be kicking off in the cadre where managers, directors are rolling in. Okay, so these are the conversations we're going to be having in today's session. Okay, so if you're here with me so far, give me a thumbs up so I know that you are here. Okay, so I have Adamustu here with me. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? If you're still here so far, we have Pearl in the conversation. Okay, please, guys, let's be very, very interactive so that we can move as one. Okay, we have Adekunle here. Okay, so we just have 3 people on here, and we are over 10 plus individuals here. Please, let's just get the interaction flowing as much as possible. Okay, so now let's get right into today's conversation. Okay, so before we get into it, okay, hi Power, welcome to the session. So for individuals that are just joining in, please ensure that you fill the attendance form. That is the only way we can send these resources to you. That is the only way I can reach out to you if we do need to help you with a career structured plan. If we don't have your details, there's no way for us to engage. So it is very, very important. And please, if you know anybody that needs to be in this conversation, send them a message, especially those individuals that have complained to you that, the country is not working. I need to get a better job. I need to get a better pay. I cannot be working 3, 5, 6 jobs just to earn 1 million naira, to earn 2 million naira. And somebody is doing that in 1 month. Okay, so basically these are things that people need to hear about. So let's not waste time and get right into it. A bit about the company that is bringing this. If you could see my background, you could see my screen. You see that we're talking about Tenalytics business. So we're not new to this type of conversation. We have been doing this in this space for the last 5 years. Okay, 5 years. And in that 5 year span, we've helped over 3,000 individuals transition from no tech experience, no prior knowledge, looking to transition into having full-time roles in AI. And I'm also one of the benefactors of this particular program. Okay, so that is why I can share a bit more insight before I started fully working with the organization. Why are we doing this? Okay, I don't like to say we're a training organization because that's just surface level. Okay, we're looking at how to help Africans break into tech, make money for tech, and also have skills that can help them, take their life from where they're currently to something greater. That is what we look at. Okay, because we don't train you and say, oh, you've gotten your certificate, fantastic, have a great day, have a great life. No, training is just 50% of what we do. What we determine as success is when you've been able to get your certificates, go ahead to get a job opportunity, go ahead to get multiple contract roles. That is what we define as success. So what we would do is we would hold your hand from, oh, I'm a beginner, I've not done anything, this is new, or I'm an intermediate, I have some level of experience, to someone who has projects to their name, to someone who is able to, work in different top organizations across the globe. So this is what we do in this organization. Okay, so now a bit about myself. Like I mentioned earlier, my name is Treasure. I work in consulting and partnerships, project management, and I've also worked as a mentor for a couple of individuals, especially as a career coach. I have helped personally over 120 people get jobs here from Africa, in the UK, US, and so on and so forth. And I also talk about my personal journeys in recent times. I'm talking about as far back as this week, last week, what I've done and the type of responses I've gotten, especially from international bodies. Okay, so I've also been able to manage different international hackathons across the UK, the US, talking about Germany, Spain, Netherlands. I've been able to work with individuals like Google Space. I've worked with Amazon to be able to achieve international hackathons for different youths across the globe. Okay, so I've also been able to help with customer success stories in terms of partnership. If you notice, Tenalytics business is not just a beginning company. We've partnered with a lot of top organizations. I'm talking about Kuda Bank, I'm talking about MTN, InfaCredit here in Lagos, Nigeria, and across different other industries across the world. Okay, so I've kind of spearheaded partnership deals for multiple business entities. So if you are trying to think about, oh, is this reliable? Why would Arik Air partner with us? Okay, so we have a lot of strong partners that we've gone ahead to train their staff and also been able to provide great results for them. So we are looking at, oh, how can we help you as an individual achieve your goals? Okay. And that is at the forefront of what I really aspire to do. So now let's get right into business. Okay. Why did you decide to join today's conversation? What made you click on the link to say, oh, this is worth, this is worth having a conversation. This is worth joining in. I would really like to get your experience. Why are you on the call today? What made you join today's call? Okay, please put that in the chat so that we can get a bit of interaction going. I'm going to leave just a minute. That's tax. Put it in the chat, why did you join today's conversation? Okay, like I've mentioned earlier, is it that you're tired of the economic situation? Is it because of, oh, we're getting into the election period, or you're looking to make more money, or you're looking for career upskilling? What exactly made you click that link? Why are you on today's conversation? Okay, why I got into tech was because, at that time it was paying really well. And I was like, oh, how can I upskill? How can I ensure that I'm not left behind? I'm not someone that in the next 5-6 years, they'll be like, oh, you are still project manager. We don't need you anymore. Here's the door. Goodbye. I needed to get into a space where I am needed, where without my inputs, the company doesn't function as well. Okay. Are you at the stage in your current career, you have not been promoted for the last 3 years? You are doing the same thing over and over again, and you need change. You don't just need change to now drop your salary. You're looking at change where you can increase what you're earning. Okay. If this is why you're on the call, I would really love to hear it. Okay. You set up a business, you're looking at, oh, how can AI manage your processes? Please also put it in the chat. So why exactly are you on today's conversation? I don't want us to, raise hands and speak. It might distract. Just put it in the chat. Type career growth. Simple. It could be one-liners. You don't have to be very, very long information. So why did you decide to join today's conversation? Why are you on today's call? Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Why are you on today's call? Why are you on today's call? Okay, please, let's have that. Let's have that. You guys are awfully quiet today. I don't know if it's the weather or okay. So I'm going to take the first person because I guess, upgrading and learning new things. This is from Adekunle. Please, every other person, feel free. Very, very important that we get this information. It is going to inform the type of conversations we are having today. So why exactly did you join today's conversation? Pearl says to grow and remain valuable in my field. I totally second that. That is an amazing reason to be on the call. So why are you on today's conversation? Please, let's have that going. Have that going. I read a lot more responses. A lot more responses. Why did you decide to join today's call? Please, guys, let's get very interactive. Let's get very, very interactive. The room is very, very cold. So Pearl says to grow and remain valuable. Adekunle said he wants to upgrade and learn new things. So what other things, do you guys want to learn from today's conversation? Okay. I'm just going to move a bit fast because I'm not getting a lot more responses, so we can move quickly in the session. Okay. So in terms of why these conversations matter. So first off, we need to know that AI itself is transforming a lot of functions, okay? Across the HR space, across different organizations, you have AI transforming different spaces, okay? So whether it is like recruitment, like I mentioned earlier, instead of spending a lot of days kind of looking at different CV, what if you could get recruited in less than a week? Instead of you going through that process that it takes 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and so on and so forth. It could also be onboarding process. When people get into companies, the reason why they don't get acquainted with their roles is because they were not properly onboarded. And when I'm talking about onboarding, I'm not saying, oh, you have one conversation with HR. They say, oh, this is your new job role. This is what you need to do, and they call it a day. No, I'm talking about guided videos. I'm talking about having a body, a workplace body that can guide you through the process. If you have any questions, this is the person you should go and meet, and so on and so forth. This helps the individuals integrate into the program, into your organization a lot more faster. Okay? Then looking at it from the performance end, you can have individuals, you can have employees that are not doing too well. You have 5-6 employees that are falling below your 60% quota for your appraisals. How do you want to get them involved? How do you want to get them engaged? These are key things that you need to be looking at in today's conversation. Okay. The next thing is organization helps expect HR professionals to be able to use data, to be able to use AI tools to gather decisions, to make decisions rather, to gather insight. If I want to know, oh, how many of my employees are performing really well, how many of my employees aren't doing really well, all I need to do is see it on a dashboard, and then I can state categorically, these are the individuals that needs to work a lot harder. Okay, but you can't do this based on assumption as a HR professional in this day and age. What you need to be looking at is data. And you can't even go through the analysis process saying, oh, let me use Excel. Push your information, your data set, you clean, you use Excel, you use Power BI, just to go through the process end to end. Trust me, that takes days. It takes weeks if your data is very, very large. Okay, but with AI tools, you can do it in a short amount of time. And this is why companies are saying, oh, I need HR professionals, I need individuals that know how to make use of AI. We also want professionals to be able to adopt to AI very, very early, because it's basically one of the fastest ways to get high paying roles. And I'm going to show you how I personally on this call was able to achieve this. Okay, so not a lot of companies are looking for individuals that are doing the same HR things over and over again. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so they are looking at innovative individuals. Who are these people that can push my organization forward? These are what they are looking for right now. And if you don't meet those criteria, you don't get it. A lot of Nigerians, a lot of Africans reach out to me and say, Treasure, I've been applying for jobs over and over again. I've applied to 1,000 jobs in the last year, and I keep getting rejection emails. Why? Why am I not hitting it? Apart from the fact that there are biases against Africans, there are still things that are basically wrong with your process. And this is what we're going to talk about in today's conversation. So now let's move a bit fast. So when it comes to CV screening, and this is for HR professionals, it could be a very time-consuming process. It is also prone to error, because I can also choose someone based on sentiment. I want to give someone a chance that is not a good fit. So the average recruiter spends about 6 to 8 seconds scanning different CVs. And if you're doing it manually, that takes between 3 to 5 hours to get done. That is not a small amount of time. That is time that you could put into different activities that you are spending on CV review. That is why when individuals apply for jobs, I tell them that recruiters don't spend 10 years or 2 minutes at most looking at your CV or your resume. They just need about 30 seconds to go through your resume. If you want to go through the ATS system, something as little as, on the job description, they say 5 to 7 years, and you go and put 10 years. I have 10 years of experience. That automatically disqualifies you. You want to say why? Why is it disqualifying me? You are overqualified for the job, okay? And if it's going through an ATS system, you don't have a recruiter that says, let's take a chance on this person. No. The thing just moves you straight to the trash section, which sends you a rejection email. Another thing is on the job opportunity, I'm going to typically use project management examples. You see something like project manager, or I'm looking for a healthcare project manager. And on your resume, you just put project manager. Even if it's software, you don't put the same exact job title. You don't have a chance of getting that job role. On your resume, you have about 7, 8, 9, 10 bullet points for one experience. I understand you have achievements, but that doesn't tailor itself to the type of jobs you're applying for. Okay, it is very, very important. You don't have any technical skills to attain. You want to put education. There are just a lot of things that are irrelevant in this time and age. It is straight to the point. It is a resume. And this is why the ATS system catches it faster than any other tool. Okay, so looking at the benefits as well as the disadvantages on manual aspects, it is a very time-consuming process. There is errors, there's inconsistencies that happen. It's a repetitive task. You should not sit down and be doing something that does not yield fruitful work, unless you call it activity. You're going through different motions, but it's not really yielding productivity at the end of the day. Okay, and it's not easy for you to track and score feedback, because it is not an automated process. You need to look at how ATS system works. I'll show you a workflow in a couple of slides. All you need to do is, if you put out a job as a project manager role, you list all your criteria. I put it out there, and then somebody applies. What the HCS system does is run the person's resume as against the criteria. If it meets it about 90%, it pushes it straight to the next workflow that sends you an interview invite. The recruiter is not involved in this process at all. Okay. And if you don't meet the criteria, it automatically just says, oh, move into that aspect of rejection email where you see, oh, unfortunately, we're not moving forward with your application. Nobody looked at it. It is just an AI system that ran through the different criteria and you didn't meet it. That is why it is very important that your CV is well structured, because you are not going to explain, oh, this is what I meant by this statement. You are not there to explain. It is because of the automation aspect of it that it even goes through the ATS system. Okay, so that is why it's very important that you need to be intentional with your application. If you put that CV 100 times, you get a rejection email. You just need to apply for at least 10 jobs, 10 intentional roles, okay, before you have a chance of actually getting job opportunities. And people say, oh, I've applied, it means that I'm going to get the job. You are also wrong. 1,000 other people applied. So what sets you apart from the pack? Are you not like every other person that applied? You need to make yourself different. There are other processes. You need to reach out to people. If you apply for a role, please reach out to the CEO, reach out to the CFO, reach out to the operation manager, reach out to your direct hiring person. And you want to ask me how you get their emails, please check out Apollo or any other email finding tools. Send them a cold email. And it's not please, I applied for a job, help me, No, you need to come from a value perspective. What are you going to bring to the organization? Most often than not, you will get a referral email back to the HR and say, oh, at Treasure, this person applied for a role, check it out. It is far better to have a recommendation from a CEO than to go quiet. Because when they look at your resume, you already have a good chance. They look at your LinkedIn, you have a good chance. They would automatically refer you back to the HR. And then HR is more pressure to have at least an interview with you. So you really don't need to apply for a job and say, oh, yes, I've applied. I have a very good chance. You might have a good chance, but you need to make that extra move. You need to be able to differentiate yourself from other people. You need to have value-added documents. Oh, as a project manager, I want to be able to, improve your delivery process in the next 2 years. This is the processes that I'm going to lay out. You put it in a document. You can even create a 1-minute video explaining it. This is someone that is going the extra mile. And a lot of organizations love people who go the extra mile. If you keep doing the same activity over and over again, your chances of getting that job reduces by 1,000%. So it is just important. Is it painstaking? Is it stressful to go through that process? Yes. Would you get results? Yes. If you get one response out of 10, 15 emails, you're a superstar. Because typically people don't respond to those type of emails. If you email once, you don't hear back, follow up after 3 days, follow up after 7 days. Give it time. Okay, because especially for decision makers, they don't typically respond to emails on time. But taking that time to email, to reach out to them on LinkedIn by email improves your chances. But if you just apply and say, oh, yes, I've applied, have a fantastic email, CV, I match all the criteria. There are 1,000 other people that matches all the criteria. The only thing that will separate you from others is what is special about you. You need to have value to give to them. That is your best performing chance. Okay, so please, again, if you've not filled the attendance form, if you're just joining, please fill the attendance form. I'm going to be sharing resources. I'm also going to try to reach out to each individual to see how we can help you, in terms of setting up career plans. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. So now this is a CV screening in 5 minutes. There is a problem. We have 5,000 CVs and then there's just one recruiter. How can we get to ensure that, that one recruiter is not suffering? And you understand that for you to be an automation specialist, an AI personnel, you need to be a problem solver. There's nothing really special about AI automation. It is the individuals that think of the problem, see the problem and say, oh, this is an issue in my industry, and go ahead to find a way to solve those problems. Okay, so CV screening is one of the deepest, strongest problem in the HR space. So a lot of people stand and say, "Oh, there's a problem." I don't think there's a way that we can look at multiple CVs at once. And then you create an AI workflow that does it in 5 minutes. I have 1,000 resume and it does it in 5 minutes. How many humans can look at 100 CVs in 5 minutes? It's not possible. Okay, this is where AI adds to your productivity, adds to your process. Okay, because it will help you with the screening process very, very quickly. It's done. In terms of accuracy, it's done very quickly. You don't have, oh, I'm tired, I want to go and eat, I want to go and talk to my friend before I come back to look at these CVs. It is done with AI. Okay, so this can help with your process very, very fast. So now this is the automation process. If you're looking at it end to end, this was done on N8N. This is not a workflow that I can do in less than, it takes time. Okay, so what it's basically doing here is going to execute the workflow. So the individuals that apply, all your CVs are dropped in a folder, a Google folder. Okay, so we're going to connect that into separating the sheets into different rows, and then being able to download the file that is there. Okay, because people's CV can come in doc format, some can come in PDF format, some text format. So it's going to extract the major information. So when it has extracted the file, we're also going to be able to create what we call a CV match. Basically, the logic might be through ChatGPT API or whatever API tool. Okay, so you're stating, oh, your CV needs to match at least 90% for you to scale through to the next stage, and then you're either getting your interview invites or not. This is a fully functional workflow. Okay, the person will either get, oh, congratulations, we're moving forward with your application, or no, we're not moving forward with your application, unfortunately, sorry, and so on and so forth. This is a workflow. Okay, once you created this workflow, you don't need to touch it. If I'm coming back to apply for a marketing manager role, all I need to do is change the criteria that is in this workflow. Change the criteria, give you the criteria I need for the marketing manager role, and all it does, it follows the same process. Okay, AI is smart. Okay, very, very smart. You just need to direct it. This is what you need to do. And once you've directed it, it will be able to pick up the process over and over again. Okay, so this is a simple workflow. On the flip side, I've done this for the employees aspect, for individuals that are looking for a job. People tell me that one of their biggest problems is treasure. I don't have time. I cannot apply for jobs. I can't sit down and go to LinkedIn and say, oh, I'm a good match for this. I'm not a good match for this. What can I do? You know what we did? We created the employee aspect of the whole process. Okay, so instead of me going to LinkedIn, instead of me going to Indeed, going to different special job boards to apply for jobs, all I do is I pull those information into a workflow. Once I pull the information, but what type of information am I pulling? So I told them to create what I like to call a master resume. People have different experience skill sets. You might have started your career as a customer associate, you move into marketing, you enter sales, now you're in head of sales, you've moved into tech. So your CV is all over the place. But you're looking at, oh, how can I be getting money from every aspect of my CV? So we call it a master resume. It has all your experience in one document. Okay, once you have that document created, so now that document is going to work side by side with all the job boards. We collect the APIs and put it in the workflow. So you match the job boards with it. If you match about 90%, I do a minimum of 90%. So you have a high chance of getting that job. Okay, 90%, put the job on another sheet. Okay, once you have it on another sheet, it populates. So now it's not, oh, how can I apply? Will I not be tailoring resumes for each of these roles? No, you don't. You connect to ChatGPT API. Tell ChatGPT to create a tailored resume from your master resume in relation to that particular job. So if I have marketing experience, it would pick out all the marketing experience and tailor my resume to a marketing manager role. Do you understand? And once it does that, it goes ahead to populate in a document on another Google Sheet. And I like to do it on a 24-hour basis. You know that you have the better chance of landing a role between the first 3 days to apply for those roles. Anything beyond even 24 hours, you have already started losing your spot. So I like to capture my timeline between 24 hours, then before I move into 3 days. So I already know those are fresh jobs. I go ahead to apply. Once I'm done with applying for those roles, then I reach out to people. reach out. I do massive reach out to individuals. I don't take it too far. I reach out to at least 6 people. And I'm not just saying reach out to any 6 people. No, I categorize. Okay, 2 people from a peer-to-peer relation. Oh, from other marketing managers, other people in that cadre. 2 people from the HR department, whether the hiring manager directly, whether the recruiter, you have that on that level. And then 2 people from decision maker, management level. These are like maybe VPs, CEO, C-suite individuals. You reach out to them. You must hear back from at least one person. Even if you don't hear from anyone, maybe after your second or third follow-up, you get to hear back, okay? Whether they tell you that HR is still reviewing your CV, whatever the case may be, this is for your own benefit, okay? So these are things that you can automate. But first, you need to figure out that there's a problem. If you don't know there's a problem, there's no way to solve it. AI can't do that thinking for you. You need to get that first stage sorted out before you move forward. Okay, so let's carry on with the presentation. So now, something to know about the AI job market. This is regardless of HR, whatever industry you are in. AI is not a niche field. It's no longer a niche field. It is needed in every single industry. Whether you are fintech, whether you're healthcare, you're in the human resource, you are a tailor, you're a barber, you are a sole proprietor, whatever the case may be, you need AI in those processes. Okay, I had a conversation with a businessman today that was looking to get into our program. He asked me, Treasure, what does AI do for me in my business? Okay, I sell clothes, I have a boutique. How am I supposed to make use of AI? Okay, and I asked him, currently, in terms of your marketing, how many people know about your business? Is it not just the working customers that you have? He said, yes, content, but I don't know how to go about it. I don't have money to hire a social media marketing manager. All that excuses. But then AI can do that aspect of marketing for you. And you have a whole different clientele, not just working customers. You have people from online also paying for your business. Okay, now tell me, in terms of payments, in terms of keeping your records, how do you do it? Oh, I put the data in my book, I write it down, if somebody comes and buy. Tell me if that book, for God forbid, something happens to the book, you lose all your data. Okay, when you can have it backed up in the cloud, you can have it in different processes. Oh, Treasure, I don't have a laptop, I don't have this, I don't have that. You have a phone. For crying out loud, you have a smartphone. Smartphone can help you with your financials. So you need to look at it that every aspect, every industry, healthcare, human resource, whatever the case may be, they need AI. And then recruiters are also increasing the use of AI to screen candidates. So you also need to make sure that your application is AI friendly. Okay. So I've applied to a lot of roles. Okay. People tell me that it's very, very hard as an African, as a Nigerian, to get roles in the US, in the UK. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's hard. I did it for the last 5 years straight. So I understand the processes that are involved in it. But then I'm getting roles, and I'm not even kidding about it. This is an application that I did on the 29th of April, thereabouts. And they got back to me, 5th of May. You can see the dates clearly on my screen. This job is over 2,000 euros. I'm not even talking about USD, 2,000 euros. That is what this job is going to make me on a month-by-month basis, amongst the other things that I do. How did I go about getting the job? Oh, I saw this job opportunity. I was like, okay, yeah, this looks interesting. I went ahead to apply. After applying, I saw, if it's on LinkedIn, you can see the hiring person's information. I reached out to her. Oh, this is what your company needs to do to improve on it. I just need 5 minutes, 10 minutes conversation to walk you through the process. I did that with the CEO. I did that with the CFO. The CEO reached back to me. Okay, Treasure, let's schedule a call. Let's have a conversation. We had a conversation. I did my presentation. I'm like, these are the things that you need to improve on. So I'm no longer saying, oh, I applied for a job. No, that conversation never happened. I came from the angle, these are the things you need to work on. But before the CEO even said, okay, I would honor your invitation to have that conversation, the other thing was my profile, my LinkedIn profile. Did it look like, no profile picture, no headlines, no titles? Is that what it looked like? Because you also need to optimize your LinkedIn. If your LinkedIn is not up to standard, you really don't have a good chance. Because if I go to your account and it's empty, I could even think it's a bot page, like somebody is trying to scam me. So why do I need to have a conversation? So you need to optimize your platforms as much as possible. That is the only way you get proper insight. You have recruiters reaching out to you. When I go ahead to hire individuals and I turn on my recruiter profile on, if I say I'm looking for what now? Let's say I'm looking for a salesperson. If you don't even have sales anywhere on your profile, it won't pop up. If your profile is not sales oriented, it won't go high decada. Okay. I might have already seen 2 or 3 other people that I feel is a good fit before coming to you. Okay. The faster you get noticed, the better for you. So it is very, very important that you are building your brand, making sure that it is very visible to everyone. Unless you don't stand a chance to actually get foreign roles. It is a very dog eat dog world. So if you don't decide to make active steps or take active steps to help you get to your goal, you remain stagnant. And this is why it is very, very, very important that you achieve it. Okay. So now with this is 2,000 euros. Do the math, do plus and minus in naira. You know, that's a really good salary. This is just for a month basis. This is somebody's 3 or 4 in short. Some people's 10 times salary in a month that you get. Imagine getting this. You're a family man, you have 3 kids, you are a stay-at-home mom. This really helps you. Okay, so these are the type of opportunities that we look at helping our students get into. And I'm not saying this is the only opportunity I've got in loads of them because I manage projects end to end. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one. If a recruiter Googled you today, what would they find? If I type Yesomi Treasure Akiopo, what do I see on Google? If I type it on LinkedIn, what do I see? What type of what brand did you create in general? Okay, that's another thing that you need to look at. Your brand visibility, your brand positioning is very important. If you don't have your brand set up as it needs to be, you don't have a good chance. Okay, so if a recruiter Googled you, what exactly are they going to find about you? You need to really think on it, because people think that, oh yeah, my online presence doesn't really affect my professional. It does, in every sense of the word. Okay, he's not only looking at it from the negative aspect in terms of what content do you put out there. He's also looking at it from the point of what content do you not put out there. You finished a very amazing project. You never said one word about it. You are an engineer. You build projects. You've gone ahead to build. There are some projects you can't talk about, okay, because of, when you sign your NDA. You can state it as a government project. You don't need to give details. But you're already selling yourself. Oh, if somebody else is looking for someone that can work on a government project, they think of you. But if you don't have that necessary brand details, how exactly would they find out that you are a good fit for certain activities? You need to position yourself properly so that recruiters can find you and recruiters can also provide you with those opportunities. Okay, so now in terms of your projects, for individuals that are especially looking to get into the AI space, the AI space is not, I've achieved this, I've achieved that, and then, you're good to go. You're also going to need to present proof about what you did. Okay, if you are in UI UX design, if you are a website developer, one of the key things they ask you for is, what's your project portfolio? What type of projects have you worked on? Okay, what type of projects have you done before? What's industry, and so on and so forth. And this is where your project portfolio will say, this is what I've done, this is what I haven't done, this is the budget I worked with. It is very, very important to have a portfolio. For someone like a content creator, your portfolio is your videos, okay, your engagement level, okay, how many people reacted to your post, how many people commented. This is how you get other brands to partner with you. That is your portfolio. So without portfolio, a lack of portfolio leaves you invisible to recruiters, because once they're checking your profile, the next thing they're looking at is what exactly has this person done before. And it is not all those experience you put below your LinkedIn profile. It is the actual project itself. You could spend a 5-minute video, a 10-minute video explaining what you've done so far. This is very, very important, because with a proper portfolio, it also helps you get contract roles. So if you're someone that is looking for freelancing opportunities, you can easily get it once you have your project portfolio sorted. But if you don't have all these necessary things, you are not able to achieve your goal very, very easily. Okay, so one thing you need to do is build projects. Okay, when I tell people that I started off volunteering, I didn't get paid for it. I started off an internship with the most ridiculous salary ever. I was not stupid. I was very early on in that process, but I needed the experience. I can't come and say that I know how to do projects management just based off my understanding, my theoretical understanding, and I've not worked with a real company. The portfolio gives you that real world experience. They say there are things that you don't learn, like through books. It's until you face it, you know how to resolve it. Okay. So they need to know that you have that experience backing you up. That is why portfolios are very, very important. Okay. So now, why does portfolio matter, especially for AI, getting into AI? When it comes to your skill range, being able to state how you're able to achieve this shows that you have a proper understanding of problem solving. Problem solving leads to your idea execution. You understand the problem, you're able to say, oh, this is how when I dissect the problem, these are the ways to resolve it. You now say, oh, this is how I want to implement it at the end of the day. This is why portfolios are really, really important. Okay. It also helps with your communication. Most time recruiters don't have time to ask you questions on in terms of, oh, what was your key achievements? What were the issues? What project did you do? They just look at your project portfolio and it tells them everything they need to know. Okay, to a large extent, they get information from that. It also shows that you are original as a person. No two persons should have like a very similar looking portfolio. There are different styles to portfolios. Okay, I'll talk about that later on in the slide. But there are different styles based off your industry. Like a video editor's portfolio is very, very different from a software developer's portfolio. Okay, an engineer's portfolio is different from someone in architecture. Okay, you just need to own your own portfolio style based off your industry. These are the things that would help you achieve your goals quickly. And this is also why the portfolio really, really matters. Okay, so now what do recruiters care about? They care about the relevance to the role. They want your portfolio to be clear. And they also want your portfolio to have impact. So what has your portfolio done so far? Okay, in terms of what projects have you worked on, what projects have you been able to achieve? These are the things that recruiters are looking for. If you don't find it on your portfolio, then you're not a good fit. Okay, so now in terms of types of portfolios, in terms of how to make it stand out, you have your generative AI projects. For those people that are looking to get into AI, they are looking at, oh, what type of chatbot systems have you created? What type of image generators have you created? What types of AI agents have you created? If you're looking to get into AI, this is the type of project portfolios you look at building. Then you have your AI automation projects. If you're able to create different reports, if you're able to draft emails using AI automation, or also help with escalating issues for customers, these are portfolios that a lot of recruiters look out for in the AI space. And then you have the analytics. So for people in data analytics, business analysis, and so on and so forth, these are the portfolios that a lot of them are very, very interested in getting in. Okay, so these are the different portfolios that we have so far. So when you are structuring your portfolio, you need to start from this end, because I have a lot of people that have told me, oh, Josh, I don't know how to go about creating my portfolio. You go in from the problem. What problem are you trying to solve? Oh, I'm trying to look at the light situation in Nigeria. What is your solution? Okay, what were you able to bring? Oh, instead of them using getting power from hydro, they're able to do it now from solar, and also have backup power generator so that I can have light 24 hours. What results did you have? So people are more, let's say I'm talking about staff, they are 60% more productive because they always have lights. Okay, I've cut down turnover rates by so and so number. You give them numbers. Don't just say, oh, I was able to achieve good productivity. That cannot be quantified. Putting numbers to your results quantifies your results. Okay, so you can see here, reduce manual sorting time by 70%. Users adopted the tools in 3 pilot locations. So you need to always quantify your portfolio. Okay, and then what are you looking to do differently? You also need to state that in your portfolio. This is a winning portfolio structure when it comes to AI. Okay, so now moving on, let's just move into the different types of AI portfolios you have. Okay, so you have some on GitHub. Like I said, software developers, very, very different from graphic design, very, very different from what do they call it now? Content creators. Okay, so if you are with me so far, I've been talking for so long, I want to know that we still have a lot of individuals here. Please give me a thumbs up. If you're still here, can hear me loud and clear, go give me a thumbs up. Okay, Emmanuel, I guess that's a thumbs up. If you're still here, we have Zliad. Any other person? Guys, have you slept? Have you slept? Are you still on the call? Okay, I have Munirat, I have Gabriel. Okay. Adamu, are you still here? Adekunle, are you still here? Bernard, are you still on the call? Guys, are you still on this call? Okay, we have Olakunle. Okay, if you're still here, just go ahead. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up so I know that you're still here. Okay, so we have Emmanuel. Emmanuel gave me a thumbs up. Okay, we have King Visuals. All right, so we still have a good number of people on the call. So then you have your personal websites. Okay, you can see some people's portfolios that look like a full-on website, especially most of the content creators or influencers that I've met, they're also going through this process. So if you want to create a personal website, you can use tools like Vercel, Netlify to create something that is clean, that looks sharp, that is very friendly, even on mobile. Okay, you can see some of the examples on my screen. Then you have on your LinkedIn profile, you know that you can attach your portfolio to your LinkedIn profile. Do you know how you go about that? All you need to do is attach it to the featured section. Put it on the featured section. So whenever someone comes to your profile, they can see your portfolio at one glance. It's very important. It's a very differentiating factor. Having your portfolio, because your entire LinkedIn profile would be your CV, your portfolio would be your achievements. So your CV is your profile end to end in terms of headlines, things you've done. Your portfolio are going to be the tasks, the achievements that you've been able to do on your profile. And this is what also guarantees you the opportunity of getting a role. Okay, so it's very, very important to have your portfolio. If you've not done your LinkedIn profile, you've not updated your project portfolio, please go ahead to do that. It is very, very important. Okay, and for those individuals that are just joining us, please ensure that you fill the attendance form. That is the only way we can help you get access to the resources. It is very important you do that. Okay, so I'm just going to move on to the next slide. So the future belongs to doers, not watchers. Start small, document thoroughly, and then share boldly. It's very simple. You don't need to go and build the world best project, AI project, to say, oh, yes, I've done AI. No, you can build from where you are. You can actually start from where you are. And then once you start to build, go ahead, show it online, show your failures, show the things you've learned. Most of the celebrities you see today, whenever they do that throwback process, you can see the growth. People love success stories. People want to be part of success stories. So it's very, very important that you document as you go and not just say, oh, yes, I've done a very fantastic project before I go ahead to post it. No, you can start posting even from this point. Okay, so this is very, very important. So now, how can you become part of the wave for AI? Because a lot of people don't know about how to go about it, and that is where they have been majorly stuck on from time immemorial. So just to give you a bit of insight, you have individuals that I've mentioned myself. I started off in customer service. I started off in health. Originally, that's what I studied. Then I moved into customer service, and now I'm a full-on project manager. I'm telling you that, I earn close to £1,000, close to a couple of £1,000, couple of €1,000 every month. And I showed you how I was able to do it. So you have people that are teachers. Teachers to healthcare data analysts does not correlate. It does not add up. Okay, but we help these individuals move on from just teaching, from everyday classwork to actually earning thousands and thousands of USD every year. Okay, so this person, Pavel, moved from being a teacher in Cameroon to be able to actually land a full-on healthcare data analyst role in the US. You also have Bukola, who was able to get a business analyst role in the US as well. And then finally, you have Judith, who was a care worker who was in the UK, Africans that go to the UK to get greener pastures, but the pastures wasn't as green, okay? And she ended up getting a full-on business analyst role in the US as well. We have a lot of these stories. Go on our YouTube platform and you see them. Even at the end of the slide, we have more of these stories that we're able to transition out of all those things they've done into full-on AI roles, okay? So these are just to give you a bit of an idea. So now, what type of AI roles are available? What type of AI content information should I consume? Okay, so majorly we have 6 of these different AI content. There is AI for software website development. There is AI for content and video creation. There is AI automation engineering. There is generative AI for data analytics, AI for business analysis and projects management, and then AI for HR analytics. Okay, so software website development. I want to be a software developer. I want to be tagged as a tech bro. I want to be tagged as a tech sis. But my own issue is I don't want to code. I'm 60 plus years of age. I don't want to have to deal with it. This is where AI software development comes into play. I would be able to build on a fully functional website without having to write a single line of code. Okay, and this is helping a lot of individuals. A lot of companies are saying, no, I don't need software developers that tell me I need 6 months, I need a year to build your website. I need somebody that can do it for me in less than a week. Okay, and I'm telling you that you're going to be getting over 5,000 USD retainership. Some even go as far as saying, oh, I want to retain you in the company in case there are bugs or any issue. Getting 5,000 USD every month is a very, very big ask. But then people are making it here in Africa, here in Nigeria, working for those organizations. Okay, so the next one you have is AI for content and video creation. Another high in demand AI tech skill is content. I didn't know about this until a couple of weeks ago when I started creating content. And I have people reach out to me like, oh, Treasure, I watch your video. I need to get mentorship. Can I get a paid mentorship? I have friends reaching out to me. How did you find my video, for crying out loud? But then with content, you can make money, good amount of money. If you have good, clean content, you're able to position yourself properly, pick a niche. I'm telling you, even the platforms pay. If you go on YouTube, if you have over 1,000 subscribers, you can monetize your platform. If you want to be able to create faceless YouTube channel that can make you money without ever seeing your face, even the sound of your voice, you will never sit down to create voiceovers, because AI can do voiceovers that sounds like you, but you never sat down to create those videos. Just the way you see me now speaking, you think that, oh, this is happening in real time. What if I recorded this ahead of time and it's playing and it talks like me, sounds like me, has the same mannerisms, but it's not in real time? You have those type of content. Okay, if you go on Instagram, go on TikTok, you see a lot of these AI avatars that have over 1 million followers on their page, handled by a real human, but it's not a real human that's showing their face. You can create money from that. If you have proper understanding, you can even work with influencers and help them grow their page while you're growing yours. Okay, you can also create AI workflows and sell to other content creators. This is what works for content creation. Okay, then moving on to the next one, you have AI automation. So when it comes to automation, you're looking at what are those things that I struggle with? What are those things that I do every single day that is boring? Is it sending emails? Is it, oh, what type of dashboard, what type of reports do I need to send to my boss this week? You don't need that. There are AI tools that can help you achieve that in a short amount of time. Okay? If you're dealing with a lot of customers, or I work in a bank, or I'm an online vendor, how can I automate my process? I'm selling clothes, I'm selling shoes online. You can use AI to create customer support bots. Oh, I work with the financial market, or I even trade, I invest in the financial market, I invest in crypto. You can create predictive bots that can help you predict the financial market. If you've ever worked or made use of the Mac ecosystem, MacBook, iPhone, you'll be like, oh, hey Siri, what's the closest restaurant to me? Siri gives you a response. You can actually create voice AI agents for your website. Oh, hey Treasure, can you tell me how much a linen top costs? And it tells you 50,000 naira. I don't need to go and figure it out. I just get an automatic response. These are ways to help your client experience, help your user experience, help yourself generate more sales. Okay, these are the type of thing we focus on in AI automation engineering. The next one you have is generative AI for data analytics. If you are running a company, one of the things that would be either your downfall or make sure your company grow is data. Your data is very, very important. You need to be able to analyze your data from start to finish to decide, oh, this is what I need to improve on or not. But the problem is, I work with Excel, I work with Power BI, I work with SQL. It takes time. If I have a large data set, I'm looking about days to get it done. But that doesn't happen with AI. You just put your data set into AI. AI will clean it, it will analyze that data to give you all the necessary information in a short amount of time. Okay, this is where you have AI for data analytics. The next one you have is AI for business analysis and project management. So you are running a business, you set up a business, you're looking at, oh, how can I make sure my business is growing? How can I ensure that I'm setting up the business properly? You need AI for all of this. Okay, so AI can help you achieve these goals very, very quickly in a very, very short amount of time. Whether it's projects, whether it's your business, you can do it with AI. So instead of your business, okay, let's say for example, in 2024, your business was losing or making money of like 5 million naira in profits. 2025, it became 4 million or 3 million naira in profits. 2026, is it going to happen the same? No, you need to be able to analyze, be very careful in your analysis process to be able to say, oh, these are the things that I need to improve on or work on. Okay. And then finally, for HR, we've talked about this a lot today, talking about the screening aspect for CV, talking about performance analysis dashboard. You can create these all with the use of AI. Okay. So these are the things you're going to be learning in the program. But like I like to say, this is just 50% of what I need to do. Okay, there are other things that are very, very much important than learning. I want to learn these skills to make money or get better knowledge. Okay, so now how do I get those job roles? These are some of the remote job boards. It's not everyday LinkedIn. Okay, please take a snapshot. Please fill the attendance form so we can share you this, and then you can take note of all these top organizations you can apply for job roles from. Okay, so now looking at the other 50% of things, because like I mentioned over and over again, certificates are great, but at the end of the day, you want to be able to ensure that your certificate is working for you. Okay, so that brings us to the next aspect. Your CV, your resume, it cannot be overemphasized. That is your starting point. So we're going to help you optimize your CV as much as possible. Okay, the next thing you're going to be looking at is your LinkedIn profile. What happens on LinkedIn? What do I need to do on my LinkedIn? I mentioned over and over again, oh, if I get on LinkedIn, I reach out to CEOs. If I reach out to CEOs and your LinkedIn profile is completely empty, do you honestly think that the CEO will respond back to you? I'm talking about, Americans, people in the UK. You need to tailor or optimize your LinkedIn as much as possible. Okay. Then the next one you have is navigating the job market. So when it comes to navigating the job market, what you're going to be looking at there is, I just need to only apply. Applying is just the starting point of my journey. And there are other ways to actually get job opportunities than just applying. So I'm going to be looking at all those different key aspects in how can I improve my chances of getting a job role. Okay, so everybody, 1,001 people are flocking the application process. But then there's a separate, interesting niche that I need to look at. Okay, for me to get jobs, and this is what my key focus needs to focus on. Okay, so applying is there's networking, there's even your social media accounts that you are not using properly. So we'll show you all that during the course of the program. The next one is interviews. Not the same way we do interviews here in Africa is the same way they do it on a global level. I remember having a conversation with one of the recruiters that I had a conversation with earlier this year. Oh, Treasure, tell me about yourself. I went ahead to do, or can we meet you, whatever the case may be, as the question comes. Oh, Treasure, tell me about a time where you worked on a project that you had issues. How did you resolve it? These are very typical questions. These are questions you get over and over again. But your response really, really matters. Structure matters, okay? That is why something as simple as tell me about yourself destroys your entire interview. The first 1 minute will determine if, okay, maybe the recruiter want to listen to you or just want to carry along with the process. So you really do need to set the tone. Tell me about yourself question. You break it into 3 aspects: your experience, your skill sets, and the value you look to bring into the organization. You don't need any other information. You don't need, oh, I studied chemical engineering, 5 years, I did this 10 years. No. You talk about your experience. You have 5 years as a healthcare project manager, and I've worked with 6 different industries. You go ahead to highlight them. You go into your experience. Oh, I'm very good with resource management, communication, leadership, when I say key skills, these skills would vary from job to job. What does that mean? Study the job requirements very carefully, because you can really get cues of what you need to say. Oh, you see, 5 to 7 years, I need someone that can lead, that can communicate with the team, that knows how to use Asana. Make sure that when you are responding to those questions, you highlight your answer should be a response to the job requirements. So that's why I say it's going to vary from job to job. You don't have a one size fits all answer for interviews. Okay. We'll show you how to achieve this once you get into the program. The next one is reference letter. One of the key things that enabled me start working with different companies across the globe is the fact that I got my first reference letter from the company. So Analytics itself is actually based in Canada and is also accredited in the UK and the US. It's so sad to know that you actually sometimes do need work experience from the particular country. If you don't have Canadian work experience, they will not hire you. I'm so sorry. It's a stressful process, but that's the truth. So what we do is we tell our students, once you get into the program, put on your LinkedIn, put on your CV, oh, I'm consulting for Analytics. From the month you start, taking the program to once you finish, you get a reference letter from us and already categorize you as someone that has a Canadian work experience, which is very, very important if you are looking for those type of job roles. Okay. The next one we have is on the job support. So working in these different countries, one of the things that they really do ask of is, how can you make sure that from start to finish, every single time from your 30, 60, 90 days, you are giving the best value? So this is also another thing we'd look at achieving during the course of the program, making sure that you are fully supported end to end every single time. Okay. And then the next one you have is weekly mentorship session. Would also provide you with mentorship session. We have individuals that are finished from this program that have worked in Google, Amazon, NHS. So, one thing that really also helps you get a job is referrals. So it's very important that you get referrals from these individuals. So we have our past students come back to talk about the different ways they've been able to achieve this so far. Okay. The next thing you also have is Upwork optimization. So when it comes to optimizing your profile, especially on the freelancing aspect, you don't want to leave your 9 to 5. You don't want to leave your business, but you want to ensure that you are getting freelancing roles. We can help you achieve this, setting up your profile on Upwork, ensuring that you have all the necessary key information to help you land a contract role. So these are the things that we're going to teach you during the course of the program. Okay. So now the program is going to be for 2 months. The 2-month plan is 8 weeks. In 8 weeks, you're going to become an expert. I'm going to move you from beginner level to expert. And like I mentioned earlier, we are not a training institution. No, not at all. At the end of the day, we're looking at how can you get into tech and how can you make money from tech, okay? There's enough money to share here. I want to make sure that you achieve that. That is why we don't only give you training and give you certificates. We also ensure that you get a job. That is what success looks like for us, okay? So this is going to be what we're doing. It's an 8 weeks class. It is 100% online, okay? The classes are going to be Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the weekend, and then Sundays, you have 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. You also have weekday classes. So Tuesday evenings, we have our support session. If you miss a class, you need support, you want to ask questions, join Tuesday session. Then the mentorship session happens every Thursday. The good thing about it is you have lifetime access. For life access to the recordings. So even if you miss any of the classes, you can actually join or watch the recordings. Whether 2050, whether 2060, you can go back and actually watch those recordings. So this is going to be with you for life. So now this is the certificate you're going to be getting. It is accredited by the American Council of Training and Development. It is also accredited by the Council of Training in the UK, and then we are registered in Canada. So what that means, it is internationally recognized all over the world, okay? So now, moving on into how you can get different skill sets. There are 6 different skill sets that I've mentioned. Whether AI automation, software, project management, you need experience, and that is what we're going to give you. Real world experience, optimizing your CV, your LinkedIn profile, getting mentorship, getting these interviews, getting job reference letter. Trust me, this is the recipe for you to actually land in a role. It might look very simple, but once we break it down for you in details, it goes beyond the surface level. Once you do that, you start to tailor your resumes, you start to do quality applications, you tap into the hidden job market, you are guaranteed, the ability to start landing those interviews and finally get jobs. Okay. So now you can't stay where you are at this point. You have to decide to move. It's 2026. You can't be earning 300K salary for the last, 6 months, a year, 2 years plus. You need to make a change for yourself. You need to look at yourself and say, oh, what can I do to improve my earning power? How can I improve my quality of life by working remotely? These are things you need to focus on. I need to improve my earning power to help my kids, to help my family. These are things that are of concern to you. Okay, we're already into the second month in Q2. It is not late to make that decision. It's not late to make that change. But you need to be very intentional about your activities. Okay. So now that brings me to the next aspect. In terms of getting into this program, we have 2 cohorts that are starting. We had one that started today by the 9th of May. We also have another that's going to be starting by 6th of June. Okay. So you can join now and continue with the class by tomorrow. You get to watch the recording for today and you get started. Or you can also join the class that is starting 6th of June. You have both opportunities. Okay. But now, how do you register for the program? So this is just some more success stories that I have from what we've done. So these are all the programs I've talked about. AI for content, you're looking at getting into content creation, but you don't know how to go about it. We have AI courses for that. Okay, you want to be able to build websites, build applications, but you don't know how to go about it, or you feel like it's too stressful because you don't want to code. We have AI tools for that. Okay, you want to automate repetitive tasks, ensure that you're building bot system. We have AI tools for that. Then you're looking at the data or HR aspect of things. There are AI tools for that. We also have business analysis and projects management. We have AI tools to help you achieve all these different aspects. Okay. So now in terms of the pricing, okay, we have a price of 250,000 naira. But please don't run. Just give me a minute. Let me land. Okay. So 250,000 naira is the normal price. But if you joined my call before, or this is the first time you're joining the call, you know that we've been on a discount for the last month or so. It is supposed to end by yesterday, or was supposed to end by yesterday. We did an extension for today up until, the end of the conversation we have on here. Okay. So you can either decide to pay one-time payment of 120,000 naira instead of 250K. One-time payment, that is over 50% discount. You're just paying 120,000 naira at once. Or you can pay money in installments, about 3 installments. Okay, I don't want to start in May. I want to start in June. You can pay 50K now. Pay 50K in June, and then your final payment in July. You have that option available. But one thing that I want to note is if you miss out on these discounts this evening, that is it. The price reverts back to normal from tomorrow morning. It's very, very important that you lock in your discount this evening. 120,000 for any of the programs that we have available, AI automation, as the case may be. For individuals that are looking to go for the June cohort, especially, oh, Treasure, I'm just hearing about it. I spent part of my salary. I have school. Okay, fine. I understand all your concerns, okay? We still give special grace that, you can lock in with a minimum of 30,000 naira to hold your spots, okay? So you don't go ahead and come back and you're paying 250K. It's not going to work, okay? Another thing that this unlocks for you is this particular aspect, what I like to call the exclusive early bird perks. So for those individuals that are saying, I love this, I want to optimize my CV. My CV is a mess. I don't know how to go about it. For those people that make payment this evening, we can help you, guide you through that process. You'd also be getting an exclusive access, okay, to a career professional. Could be myself, could be other professionals we have in that space to guide you in the transition process, okay? You'd have early access to the mentorship program. You'd also have access to all the global opportunities that I've mentioned to you. We're going to be sharing that with you as well. So you can see the type of roles for you to apply for. We'll show you how to go about it. We'll also show you all the necessary tricks to actually land those roles. I won't wait till you start the program in June or May, as the case may be. We will start immediately to help you with this. But this is only for those that are able to register this night. Okay. So I only have 5 spots for this particular offer. So if you are able to register this night, I have 5 spots for it, just 5 slots. Okay. So once the 5 slots are occupied, anything after that, yeah, we can provide you with support, but it would be like on a group setting. Okay. So please ensure that if you're going for the payment, you do that this evening. Okay. So how do you go about it? You can see that my colleague is sharing the information on the chat. You can either make payments to the website. You can make payments on the website, rather, pardon me, or you can make a direct transfer to the account details. For those that don't have the money, but I want to lock in so I don't pay 250K later, please just pay to this Kuda account. But if you want to register on the website, I'm going to share my screen. So you can see all the different programs on the website. You just go ahead, click on Enroll Now. So once you click on Enroll Now, it's going to take you to the payments page. Then you can make your process up from here. Okay, so that is all you need to do for this. But then if you want to pay to the account details, you go ahead, pay to the different account details, and then you are good to go. Okay, so please ensure that you do that this evening. I've mentioned the different opportunities so that we can help you with your process as soon as possible. Okay, so before we move or we close out for today's session, I would like to hear your questions. Okay, so if you need me to clarify on any aspect of what we discussed today, please, you can raise up your hand. You can put a question in the chat, so that I can know the questions that you have. Okay, this is not me saying pay money for me to answer your questions. It's me saying ask your questions. Anything you want me to clarify, either from the presentation that I've done so far, or even from the classes, I can do that on this call. Okay. So please go ahead. You can raise your hand. You could put your question in the chat, whatever works best for you. And please, for those that are making payment, you would also see that my colleague puts in a form that you fill after you make payment. This form is very, very important because there is no way we want to know who made payments or did not make payments. Please, once you are done, fill it in. Okay. It is a very simple, straight form. Please go ahead to fill the form and then you are good to go. Okay. So I want to mention that as well. So, yeah, let's go back to the question aspects. If you have any questions so far, please put it in the chat so that I can answer your question. So I'm going to call us in the order that I can see on my screen so we can take your questions. The first person I see on here is Celestine. Celestine, I don't know if you're still on the call. You can, okay, I need to give you access to unmute your mic because I didn't do that before. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can now unmute your mic. I'm Celestine. I don't know if you are still there. Hi, Celestine. Are you still on the call? Some people have slept and left their laptops. Celestine, are you still on the call? Okay, I'm not getting any feedback. Hi, God's Power. It looks like you just joined, but I don't know if you have any question or if you've heard about the presentation so far. Hi, God's Power. Can you hear me? If you don't want to, okay.
Hello, I want to speak. Okay, I heard you. I joined since just that I left again and I came back immediately now. I want to find out, for somebody in the military, how viable is this offer? How will it help?
Okay, are you saying to make use of AI in the military space, or you want to use it outside
to get remote jobs and all those kind of stuff?
Okay, fantastic. So to answer your question, your current industry is not a yardstick in this AI space. That's a funny story. Myself, I came from healthcare. I'm a nurse or nurse by profession or by certification, but I'm a project manager now. Okay, so it doesn't really state that, oh, what did you do your first degree or what are you doing at the moment? No, it is you building based on skills. Okay, when it comes to AI, when it comes to tech, they don't really look at, oh, are you in the military? Even if you are in military, that's a fantastic. Most of these companies, they have a special caption for veterans, people in the military, and so on and so forth. So it plays to your favor. But regardless of that, all you need to do is get the skills, learn a skill. After you learn a skill, work on your projects. Okay, whichever of the AI courses that you're going for, make sure that you have project portfolio to your name. Okay, you start to do intern. start to do volunteering roles so you can build your experience. They're more concerned about your skills and your experience rather than where you are coming from. Okay. So
Thank you so much.
Have that sorted out, yes, when you have that sorted out, you can now move into applying for roles. Because I can help you, you can have a discussion about it. But yeah, once you register for the program, I have your details. I can send you a message, explain the process for you from start to finish. We can map out a plan, yes, for yourself, specifically for you, that you need to follow to ensure that you are able to get a remote role, once you're done with the program. Okay?
Yes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. So yeah, God's power, I'm looking forward to your registration. I don't know if you heard about the payments plan. You can either decide to, so whichever one works out, you need to make payment this night, unfortunately, because we've been running this for a month. So if you have 50K, you register. If you have 120K, you register. If you have 30,000 naira, you can even still use it to lock your spot for June, because I know it's still very early on. And you might have used your salaries, your payments. So that is why we give as much flexibility as possible. Okay. So God's power, I would really love to have a conversation with you. I'm looking forward to you registering. Okay. All right, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Celestine, are you still on the call? Hi, Celestine, can you hear me? Okay. No
yes.
feedback.
Hello.
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. Do you have any? I can hear you.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, I don't have questions. I just completed my course with Tenalytics. I just completed my course with Tenalytics. It's been wonderful. Just completed my capstone project too. So I'm enjoying every bit of my training there. And I'm looking forward to come back anyway, but it's not now. Let me solidify first. I would like to come back for automation.
You can lock in your spots now, even if you want to come back in, especially as a returning student, you have an extra level of discounts. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I think there's an extra 5% discount on, the 20% discount. So instead of paying 120K, you're paying, I think, 110. So now if you are, kind of dividing it in your payment plan, if you have 30K, lock in now. Because if you come back and it's 250K, Celestine, there's nothing I can do for you. But yeah, really happy to hear that you had a great program so far. And I'm looking forward to having you in the AI automation program. Okay. Thank you so much, Celestine.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So the next person is Emmanuel. Emmanuel, how are you doing? Please, let's hear from you. Hi, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you've been very active. Please don't be quiet now. I would really love to hear from you. Hi, Emmanuel. Yes, please go on.
Yes, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity and privilege. So I've really quite learned a lot. And because I want to go for the AI context creator or content creation rather, and also the automation. So but the deadline being this month, that is probably a challenge for me because I'm a student actually. So so I may not be able to get that phone now, but since there's still an opening between now and June, then I think I can work towards that. So, but I really love.
Yeah, you're welcome, Emmanuel. Just to let you know, yes, I understand. It might seem like very quick in terms of payment, but to be honest, you can even check on the website. This offer has been up since April, okay? April 11th, if I'm not mistaken. So that's when we run this discuss. Unfortunately, you're just sharing it for the first time, but we started the cohorts. So we're just looking at, how many more people can benefit from it before it goes to 250K. So that is why I'm saying, even if you don't have 120K, you don't have 50K. And I know that all hands are not equal, but this would really help you in the long run. So it's better like if you can pathway with 30K now than pathway with 250K in June. Okay. So if you have the opportunity, just lock in. If you need to reach out to your family, your parents, I'm interested in this AI program and it's going to help me, potentially get remote roles. Is the way you sell it to them, just the way I've had a conversation with you, you explain it to them, that can also potentially help them help you. Okay, so this is like the aspect you need to look at it from. Okay, Emmanuel.
Yes, sir. I'll do that. I won't take the reaching out to one question right now.
Okay, all right, fantastic. I would love to. Okay, 2 people have made payments. That's great. So that means there are just 3 slots left. Please, if you make payments, I'm not a magician. Please fill this form. It is important, very, very important that you fill the form. And you also see that my colleague Tolulokpe is dropping a phone number that you can send the receipt to. So if you make payments and not sure about how to go about it, just send that message to Tolulokpe, okay, to her line. If you want to send me a message directly, you have that opportunity as well. I'm going to put my number in the chat. Let's say there are things you are not clear on, you want me to clarify. It could also be on your payment plan. Just send me a message on WhatsApp and I would respond to every question, okay? So let me go back to the chat to see who is still here. Hi, Esther. Hi, Esther. Esther Itodo. Hi, Esther. Are you still on the call? And please, if you have any question and I've not gotten to you, you can drop it in the chat. You can raise your hand. But I'm just trying to get to as many people as I can. Looks like we'll wrap up by 9:30, just so that I can answer your questions. Okay. So Esther Itodo, are you still on the call? Okay, I'm not getting any feedback. Esther Samuel, are you here? Esther Samuel, are you on the call? You guys have left your devices and gone to bed. Esther Samuel, are you still here? Okay, she has left the call. Fumilayo Adebi, are you still on the call? Fumilayo. Okay, I'm not getting any feedback. Fumilayo, still on the call? Are you still on the call? Okay, Munirat Suleiman, still on the call? Okay, it looks like a lot of people have slept. Pearl, and then we have Omokaro. Omokaro, are you still here? Okay, all right then. I would assume that there are no more questions. So I think at this point, we can actually call it a day. If you do have any questions and you want to reach out to me directly, so that's for Emmanuel, even for God's Power, please just send me a message on WhatsApp. I can respond as soon as possible, okay? Even Celestine, hoping that you can join in, come the AI automation program. You can register, even if you are not joining now. If you want to join in July, you can pay that commitment fee this evening so that you are not paying more as at that time. Please go ahead to lock in your slots as soon as possible, okay? So I think that's about it. I don't hear or see any other questions. So I would really like to appreciate each and every one of you for staying with me up until this point. It was an amazing session. I had a lot of fun talking about AI, the HR space, and also how you can make money with AI tools. Okay. So yeah, looking forward to you joining the June cohort, even still the male cohort. You have the ability to do that. And if you have any questions, any concerns, you can always reach out to me and then I would respond as soon as possible. Okay. But that being said, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. It was a truly amazing session, and I look forward to seeing you in June, July, or even May, okay? Please do enjoy the rest of your day and have an amazing day, everyone, okay? Cheers and bye for now. Take care and have a good one. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Ma. Good night as well.